Howdy, y'all. This is Proverbs 5 in the New Living Translation for August 5th, 2023. My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Listen carefully to my wise counsel. Then you will show discernment, and your lips will express what you learn. For the lips of an immoral woman are as sweet as honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But in the end, she is as bitter as poison and as dangerous as a double-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps lead straight to the grave, for she cares nothing about the path to life. She staggers down a crooked trail and doesn't realize it. So now, my sons, listen to me. Never stray from what I am about to say. Stay away from her. Don't go near the door of her house. If you do, you lose your honor, and you lose to merciless people all you have achieved. Strangers will consume your wealth, and someone else will enjoy the fruits of your labor. In the end, you will groan in anguish when disease consumes your body. You will say, "How I hated discipline! If only I had not ignored all the warnings. Oh, why didn't I listen to my teachers? Why didn't I pay attention to my instructors? I've come now to the brink of utter ruin and must face public disgrace. Drink water from your own well. Share your love with only your wife. Why spill the water of your springs? Drink water from your own well. Share your love only with your wife. Why spill the water of your springs in the streets, having sex with just anyone? You should reserve it for yourselves and never share it with strangers. Let your wife be a fountain of blessing for you. Rejoice in the wife of your youth. She is a loving deer, a graceful doe. Let her breasts satisfy you always. May you always be captivated by her love. Why be captivated, my son, by an immoral woman, or fondle the breasts of a promiscuous woman? For the Lord sees clearly what a man does, examining every path he takes. An evil man is held captive by his own sins. They are ropes that catch and hold him. For he will die for lack of self-control. He will be lost because of his great foolishness. Sorry. It must be the white glasses. My wife, in fact, hates them. She says it makes me look like, well, I can't say that word. Let's say it brings all the worst qualities of the Chad and the surfer out in me. Cosmetically. I don't think they're that bad. If anything, like, they're not doing the job. I bought them because they were on sale and super cheap. And I'm trying to not squint. How I can lose the pair of glasses that I wear every day of my life, I don't know. I got one other place to look. I might have left them in the garden. I don't know. This was a backup pair I bought because I had previously lost those glasses. Come to think of it, let me go check that spot again in the back of the truck. But because, look, when you have light eyes and you need to protect your eyes, right, you take precautions. But $15 or whatever it was. But the problem is, being white, they reflect light, right, also inside. And then the lenses aren't as dark as I want. They are polarized, which is good. I digress. But I often get comments like cringe, on the daily verse and stuff, especially with these, or if I'm wearing sunglasses. I don't know if people think that I'm like wearing sunglasses to be cool, but like, no. It's because I can open my eyes for a second and then reading, and then I start squinting. Like the cloud, like on cue, the sun just came out, a cloud moved. So, you want to see little slits, so I look even more like a comic, you know what I mean, between the hair and the face, and fine, I'll squint at the camera. Otherwise, I'm just doing the best I can. And mind you, I got a driving job, so eyes always on the road. The footnotes here, down to death or hell? It says Sheol. So drink water from your own cistern, flowing water from your own well. Alright, I'm going to have to stitch these together, I suppose. And yes, I am going to do this while driving. I pretty much know where I'm going. Repeat customer. A trip offer came in, and I thought I could pause the video and then just continue on my merry way when I came out. But no, because I ruined the split screen, because, let's just say that the app ruined it. right? It wanted me to accept this trip offer, which is totally not worth it, but better to work and be diligent, just trying, to a degree, right? Like, I gotta choose. I can work for $18 an hour for 3 hours later. That's all I've seen all day. And a lot of people in my group think that's just brutal, and it's like, you shouldn't do that to your car, and your time's worth more. Well, you know what? Is my time worth more? Also, I do stuff like this, and moreover, I'm listening to pastors, preachers, the radio, YouTube. I make use of my time. It's like my mobile office, but it's like, I look at it, I'm being paid for school. But there is a, you know, getting sent out to the boonies, missing out on my kiddos, things like that. But I look at it as, I gotta work. So whether it's DoorDash, Uber, Amazon, what have you, I gotta work. I gotta make this money. I spent, like I mentioned yesterday, so much on Legos. To the kids' credit, they bought some of their own. They pooled some of their money. They bought a set. They bought their minifig. And I treated them to some other stuff because whatever. And because I wanted to treat Bunny she made it through her first 3 days, her first week of her new job. She really wanted the city set that was like all farm stuff. One of the minifigs has a huge beard. So, you know, whatever, man. It was on sale. So I got a great deal on it, actually. And the 2 sets I got the kids included, like, that one had like a sheep. You get to shear sheep in Lego. And the other one was like an animal rescue mission set. So it came with, like, I don't know, a baby puma, an owl, like 3 or 4 like animal minifigs on top of everything else, and whatever, man. I am trying to pursue more organization, less stuff, you know, but books and Legos, what are you going to do? And plants, like, I'm going to keep buying them. I can't help it. Everything else is getting organized and sorted through. Anyway, returning to actually talking about this, you know, it's weird because, like, I feel like the average 8-year-old just set loose on YouTube and Netflix and stuff like that knows a lot about violence and sex and stuff. My kids don't. My kids, they're like farm kids, like farm light, because we're all trying our hardest to homestead, still live and, you know, interact in the city a lot of times. So, you know, from an early age, the oldest at least, was exposed to kind of like a male and a female, and it takes 2 to tango and make more babies. That's cool. He understands that. Now he's getting to the thing where if he sees like kissing or a girl, real pretty girl, like on screen, he'll avert his eyes. You know, I don't know if it's like he's getting those feelings or it's embarrassing or what. So we try to talk to him about it. And actually, one of the guys at house church that I just left, they, like our group, they have a book on, you know, teaching sexuality to your kids, you know, biblically and age appropriately. So I need to visit that. But all these things, it's hard to, I can talk to my kids about promiscuity and, you know, the wrong kind of women, and they do hear this and they hear me reading it. But talking to them about like harlots and prostitutes and things like that, like, that's a little different. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, you can like pay women for sex, but don't do that. Like, yeah, we need to talk about that, but this is too young of an age. So, you know, it's all about context and framing. So I do talk to them about the girls that don't believe like they do, and people outside of the church, not just our church, but the church, the Christian church. And, you know, then he sees it, you know, not everybody has the same values, or let's just leave it at that. So we talk about a lot of these things, like, yeah, you know, her lips and her mouth, her words are smooth as honey, or sweet as honey and smooth as oil, but her feet are in death, and you'll join her there, you know, whether it's like bodily harm that will come to you, disease, getting yourself into bad situations, the stress of maintaining multiple women. Look, you can say whatever you want about, like, well, like, I think a lot of guys that want to be conservative are now being gravitating towards Islam because, well, I can have multiple wives. If I can pull them and support them, it's all good, right? The stress of dealing with multiple women and kids and stuff, like, that's going to take a toll on your body too. Somebody put it recently in a sermon I was listening to, because, you know, you can point to the patriarchs. Well, they had multiple women and maidservants and this and that. And it's like, what God was willing to tolerate as he was getting his message out is different than what God endorses. I took that to heart. So there's that. And yeah, don't go to the door of her house. Don't mess with her. You're going to lose your honor. You're going to lose your wealth. And what? When it's too late, you're going to groan about it. Now I'm on the brink of ruin and I face public disgrace. Drink water from your own well. I don't know if it's because my body at this point, or my mind knows we're in the rhythm, and I was thinking about this verse, but this is what was in my head yesterday. And even, you know, seeing my lady in bed last night, because I'm a night owl and I come to bed late. So not just the part about just sharing your life and your well and your water with just anybody, but this, you know, this was in my head, you know, and my lady can be loud at times, so it's not, this isn't a meekness kind of thing, or but that she's a loving deer, a graceful doe. Let her breast satisfy you always. Hey man, you picked her, you know, and it's one of those things like, the grass is always greener, right? Yeah, well, the garden blooms where you water it, right? And where you tend it. So the more that you can be there for your woman, be a strong example for her, provide the things that she does need, and guide her lovingly like we're called to do, the more she'll bloom and the more she'll impress you. So I'm going to just throw it out there, gentlemen. Tend your garden. The Lord sees clearly what a man does, examining every path he takes. And an evil man is held captive by his own sins. You know, lying, deceiving, all the things that you need to be accountable for and look over your shoulder for and remember. The Lord sees through it all. You might be able to give away an explanation that works, but, you know, the Lord's going to see through it. Oh man, I hate it when it does this to me. It's like, here, go in this alley. No, it doesn't look like an alley I want to go into. So, alright, I'm going to have to circle back where I'm at. Yeah. But we hit the end of the passage. I rambled plenty. I even told you about my lady not liking my white glasses. So, you know, smash the like if you see this and you also don't like the white glasses. Hopefully I'll find them today. Say a little prayer for me. And I'm not feeling so bad today. Leg is hurting, back is hurting, mind is working. So I thank God for the 5 guys, 6, you know, we miss my other dude that's not able to join us today. That God's brought in my life, you know, and that we can be the iron that sharpens each other. And we were talking today, the theme was about, you know, community and being there for each other and pooling our resources and time, money, tools. That's what the early church did. That's what it said. So let's try to be more like that. Let's be an example to our community. All right, with that, I'm going to sign off here. I'm going to have to stitch them together, hopefully successfully. And the guys were really putting on me today, like that I should be doing a podcast or like stand-up comedy kind of thing, which, you know, that's something I've always wanted to do. But that's also a being humble and a pride thing, right? I don't necessarily want to throw myself on stage. Obviously willing to, but I don't know. I've noticed more people are slowly watching these. I try to not pay attention to the view count and stuff that I get. But occasionally something will happen, like my homie the other day hit me with that nice comment. So it made me see the screen with the likes and the views and stuff. So if you're interested in watching that, more of an actual podcast format, I discovered their facilities at the library. I'm going to try to hit that on the way home with condenser mic, mixer board and stuff. So it's possible I could just kind of work around the equipment side of it, learn how to do it, and then start having conversations with people. Because it's not just about what I think. I got a lot of gnarly, weird opinions and strange things you might hear me say. But as I try to tell the shepherds in my church, the house church, it's like, sometimes it's baiting conversation. Sometimes I want to know what you're going to say to me. What if I was an unbeliever? Or what if I'm a believer and I hold a wacky doctrine? Like, let's talk about some of the stuff and let's spar about some of the obscurity. I think that's where it'd go. I'll tip my hat here. I was thinking about calling it, and I have no idea if it's taken or not, but I was thinking two hard ones. Dudes, you know what I'm saying? Two hard ones. Or two dudes, right? Two hard dudes. But primarily two hard ones. Two hard questions. I would like it to be me and somebody. You ask me a hard question about my faith. Maybe I don't know the answer and we're going to explore it together. Maybe I do know the answer and it's a hard answer and we're going to explore that together. And I'm going to ask you a hard question about your faith, non-faith, denomination, sect, difference, whatever. That's what I want to do. You want to watch an hour and a half of 2 hours of that, maybe? You let me know. And I will continue to pray about it. And if that's where, I'm being led, that's where we're going to go. This channel's here to serve other people, not myself. I watched a video the other day, last night, of an unboxing of homework, I think it was. But YouTube shipped them their silver play button in cement in a crate on a pallet. They had to destroy it in order to get into it. And I thought, how cool is that? And how cool is it that these people have built a community on them doing work in front of a camera and teaching people stuff? But I can say that it wasn't like, jealous. Oh, the YouTuber that got a button. I don't got a button. It's not like that for me. I just like to talk, and I like to teach, and I like people to teach me because I like to learn primarily. So with that, if you see this, continue to pray for me. I need it. My grandfather had quadruple bypass yesterday. He made it through and is apparently doing well today. Maybe I'll get the chance to talk to him. Probably not, but hopefully discharged after the weekend. And had a lot of prayer requests in our group, so everybody pray it up. I got this app that I'm trying to do, and it's essentially a prayer app in like a gamified way. Too many projects, too many focuses. I'm trying to focus on the Lord and my walk and my discipling my little kiddos. That's my most important work, and that's what I told them the other day. Yesterday. Everything's the other day. It's like once the past is behind us, you got your behind in your past. Whatever. Go with God. Be blessed.